mean, the same people that led me to Jesus are certainly many of the people who led us to Trump and defended Trump. And so, but, I think that what I feel is that I want people to know the love of Jesus. And one of the biggest challenges is, I think one of the biggest obstacles to Jesus is Christians who are saying all these things with our mouths, but betraying Jesus with our lives. And even, I think also what's true is that there's a version of American nationalism that's trying to camouflage itself as Christianity, but it doesn't look anything like Jesus. It doesn't sound anything like Jesus. And so the antidote for the problem here is actually to center Jesus again. There are a lot of folks, I think, that admire Jesus, but they're very troubled by the state of evangelical Christianity. But that's nothing new. Frederick Douglass really named that. He said there's competing narratives here. You're right. And between the Christianity of Christ, which I love, and the Christianity of America, I see the widest possible difference. And Douglas said, I love the Christianity of Christ. I hate the women whipping, cradle plundering, slave holding Christianity of this land. So where I've found life is outside of the most toxic versions of kind of Trump evangelicalism. And I think that's the good news, is there are things worth saying no to, and saying no to Trump evangelicalism is not the end of faith for many of us. It's the beginning of a more robust, beautiful, Jesus-centered faith. But I think the challenge is not to just get stuck in the deconstruction and the ex-evangelical, the response to the worst narrative of Christianity, and realize that the spiritual landscape, don't let white evangelicalism colonize all of Christianity. I don't want to give Jerry Falwell or Franklin Graham that much power, like God is big and working outside of that. So, I find life, and this is part of why I love liturgy and I've embraced much of Catholicism, but also my life has been in the historic Black church and getting out, and the folks who suffered the brunt of the as Jonathan Wilson Hargrove says, the slaveholder religion, the folks who were on the, side of liberation. So I think for a lot of folks that grew up in the oppressive white fundamentalism, evangelicalism, moving into spaces with a bit better, more life-giving spirituality, and where we might even be minorities as white folks, is a really good thing. And I'll just say that I do think that self-righteousness is not partisan, and there are a lot of there's a sense that when Jesus says, you go across the world and you make converts, and then you make them twice the sons of hell as you. I mean, whoa, so I think there is this calling out of the religious self-righteousness, but there's also a political and social self-righteousness. And a lot of folks on the progressive side, they kind of grew their teeth into fundamentalism and learned those same tools of policing and, theological litmus tests and things like that. And, so we, some of the most aggressive deconstructionists were the most aggressive constructionists. And so I'm not saying that there's not a place for deconstruction, but we're rehabbing abandoned houses in Philly. Some of them need to be totally torn down because their structures are not good, their foundations are broken. But there's other houses that they're not ready to be lived in, but they just need some cosmetic work to rip out the carpet and get rid of the bed bugs. But you don't need to tear the house to the ground. So I think there's some discernment.